Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea, picking up the pieces off the Fed meeting yesterday and, of course, onto Apple earnings, onto a jobs report tomorrow. It's Thursday, and we've barely begun to touch on 240,000 non-farm payrolls as a statistic tomorrow. We'll get to that. The jobs report, some would say, is more important than the Fed meeting that we just observed. And, of course, what's so important about this is great Fed conversation. On the Fed decides, thank you, Mohamed El-Erian, for heated comments about the overarching theme here that wasn't captured in the press conference. And Bob Michael of J.P. Morgan, I thought, was just brilliant, just saying, look, rates are coming down. Just wait for the data, and you'll see that. And his colleague, Michael Ferroli, with us today, made it very clear that the sum of their research at J.P. Morgan is you are going to get back on some form of disinflationary tendency. My single word yesterday, single best word, if you will, for the Fed meeting was it was drowning in hopium. And Anna Wong at Bloomberg Economics, I thought, was just brilliant yesterday and today with us about the tone of the press conference in terms of hope versus the reality of the data out there. Anna Wong made some controversial comments today. Let's listen.
As a Fed watcher, my goal is to predict what he does. So I actually disagree with what he did yesterday, though, because from the Fed's perspective, they have a dual mandate, and he perhaps has seen some data that is not suggesting to him that the economy is super strong. He sees downside risk, but that's why he's trying to be more dovish also. But I think he made a mistake, honestly, because I think a lot of Americans are really feeling the pain of inflation. And while the Fed's deadline for bringing inflation to 2% might be the end of 2025, so they have time, I think Americans really want to get it down immediately. And
the whole, there's the point in the social context of where Americans are on this raging debate. That's an understory here. I talked about it yesterday on the Fed Decides, continuing through the morning. Excuse me, I'm fighting the plague, as I think everybody is. I got it from Eric. But the answer is you look at the social context of the Fed, and I thought Diane Swank yesterday with KPMG was absolutely brilliant on this in the Fed meeting. She just got going on how they don't see what's out there. One of the people on YouTube, a live chat from Houston saying Houston's just slowed down. That's just one anecdote from one of our good listeners. Linda Duessel has been a listener of the American economy into equities for decades at Federated Hermes. She's out of Pittsburgh and really gets out there talking to the federated world, and that gives her a chance to look across the nation. She's really quite heated about what the public thinks of what the Fed is doing.
As we're going through this earnings season, and what you just announced about Peloton, I was reading the comment that the president made. We're laying off 15% of our workforce because there is simply no other way to bring spending in line with revenues. This is where we are in the cycle, and this is where it gets a lot more interesting to be a stock picker, because some companies can maintain their profit margins and others are going to suffer their profit margins. And then there's nothing else to do but cut people because, well, look how the stocks react. The stocks love it when you're cutting costs.
Yep.
And I think that's where we are in the cycle, and that's going to play out. And that's why I'm not particularly worried about them raising rates. It's more like a question of the next catalyst being an noticeable unemployment acceleration.
Pro tip, whatever anyone's view is, and we heard this yesterday, I believe Bob Michael really underscored this, but others. Pro tip, when the job market deteriorates, it deteriorates quickly, rapidly. The charts are fast. That's what David Malpass would say years ago at Bear Stearns. Things happen fast when a job economy finally deteriorates. We did not see that in claims today. We will look forward tomorrow to the jobs report with some surface statistics. Again, I'll be looking at the revisions of the previous 2 months, but at 240,000, and we'll see what the revisions are. It's a mystery. There's no other way to put it. But the answer is people are saying, look, this is a pretty much fully employed America, there is maybe good, solid wage growth. But some of these whispers that are out there is really what we're going to address here through the month of May and into the summer. It's 80 degrees in New York today, so I think we're almost on the edge of summer. We're on the edge of digital success. I am humbled by Apple CarPlay, Android Play. Thank you so much for this habit. This is in new cars. Some cars have wires in it. Some's built right into the dashboard. It's free. You download the Bloomberg Business app, and it's everything on there. You can get Carol Massar on Apple CarPlay. How about that? It's a miracle, I say. On YouTube, search Bloomberg Podcasts. That's probably the best way to get us on YouTube. And there now the full replay. Huge demand for this. The full replay of the show. It'll be out. We're trying to get it out earlier, 3 p.m. Maybe we'll try to get that out earlier as well. So today, just two real post-Fed voices into Jobs Day tomorrow. It's single best idea.